Hi everyone, this is Anna Ng, founder of Centric Property. So today I would like to share with you the common objectives to be met for property acquisitions, meaning why people actually buy and what's the reason behind buying properties. Okay, so there's 5 types of movement for properties. The first type is to buy, then second type is to sell, and the third type is to keep, and then the fourth type is to flip. And then the last one is to rent. Okay, so there's 5 modes of movement you can do to your property, right? So now we zoom into the 7 common objectives to be met for property acquisitions. Okay, so what are the main reasons? So the first one here, we're talking about buying for asset accumulation, meaning to say people buy properties to enhance or to increase the property portfolio or for keeping purpose. Okay, so usually this is the cash rich customers or the affluent customers. And the second type is buying for cash flow reasons. Buying for cash flow reasons, we have customers who believe that this is way much better than the bank rates. We'll go into that later. Okay, and then number 3 is buying for rental yield. Okay, they actually want to buy something with ready rental if possible, so that the income could come to them immediately after completion of the transaction. And the fourth type is actually buying for capital appreciation. That means to say the price actually go up and then they earn the difference. Now the fifth type is to buy for flipping of options. Okay, we'll go into that later, all right? Be patient with me. No, number 6 is buying for change of environments and lifestyle. And then number 7, the last one, is to buy for own stay, own independence or adulting. So let us zoom in one by one, okay? Now, for the first type, right, buying for asset accumulation, enhance the property portfolio and to keep. Usually, we are talking about the big-time investors or investors, medium to big-time investors. They buy to keep, to enhance or to hedge their portfolio or to even diversify. Diversify as in probably they will not be buying all their property in one district, but rather maybe they'll buy a east, a west, and south, and sometimes, all over the island, or they may even buy the properties across the globe internationally to keep. And what they usually buy to keep for people they care about, it could be for their husband, their wife or wives, or for children or grandchildren. And usually who does this? People who are keen to keep a legacy and to pass the asset and grow the assets to pass on to the next generation, because they believe that with inflation and prices keep on rising for properties, in future, probably the descendants won't have that money like them to purchase a property this kind of size anymore. That's why they are buying ahead of time and keeping it to pass down to the descendants like their grandchildren or children. So the second type is to buy for cash flow reasons. So usually our buyers for such reasons will want to invest the monies in a property so that they can collect good, stable rental over a long period or medium to short period of time. And usually such buyers may have more than one property, so they have more, okay? And then the cash flow, what do they need it for? Is to actually help them to roll their funds, from month to month. Probably they have a few properties to maintain, right? So the third one is buying for rental yield. We have customers who are very keen on rental yield. The higher the rental, the better. But what is making the rentals diminish is they will be very concerned. What is the maintenance? Okay, so usually they will look up for properties with high demand in rental and high rental yield locations. Maybe in the town area or whatsoever. If they find that it's a good rental yield, they will grab that unit right away without even looking at the unit. So long as they have the figures correct, they will zoom in for that. Okay, so these are the investors. And property cannot be too old. This is something to note. Or there might be a lot of things to maintain, for example, the change of aircons or even the flooring or even the kitchen. Okay, so they will usually try to look for something below 5 years. And they also take note of how high are the maintenance. For some properties, the quantum may be low. That means the price tag may be low, but the maintenance could be a few $1,000s per month. And as such, after you less out from your rental, you won't actually earn that much anymore. So perhaps it may be more advisable to look for another property with a lower maintenance every month. And then, of course, we have the buyers who really like to buy for capital appreciations from a small money tree to a big money tree. So for our customers, they actually look for newer projects from the developer sales, and then they want to go in at the lowest possible price and then flip when it's about time nearing TOP or TOP. Okay, so long as they're out of the seller stamp duty period, they're able to sell without any seller stamp duty. And then they will gain the difference. For example, we have a client who bought a 2-bedroom at about 650,000, but upon TOP time, she's able to sell it close to $1 million. So the difference of 350,000 would be the capital appreciation. Of course, you also need to less out other things like refund back to CPF, how about that, or the bank loan balance. Okay, so point to note for customers who's looking for capital appreciations, always check out when is the seller stamp duty period you're held under. Okay, and then this, of course, you can check under the IRA's website, okay, the government website. And also note that during the TOP, definitely there'll be many others who's also like you, like-minded to sell that same property, similar property. And then, of course, you have competitors, but having competitors is also good. Why? Because when people sell, there's a transaction. So with the transaction, the banks will see, oh, there's a transaction. It's easier to value your property rather than a development with no transactions. Okay, then you will have difficulty to get a value for your buyer later on, right? So now we talk about the other type, number 5, buying to flip the options. Okay, to me, right, this one is one of the most dangerous, high risk kind of transaction. Okay, why? Because the buyers here are really the ones with the highest risk appetites, not for the faint-hearted. The buyers actually put out the option fee of 1% for the private property. And then usually they will request for a long period of time to exercise the option, while interim, they try to get the agents or themselves to sell out this option before the exercise period is up. Okay, so they will earn the difference. I won't say they make a lot of money, but during the heydays, I heard some agents, they said some people did make a lot of money. But of course, if you get caught, then you probably have to go to jail. Okay, but anyway, most of us, we do not practice this right now, and we won't really advise this because it's very risky. And the pitfall to me is that if you don't manage to find a buyer to take over your position, okay, by your exercise period, you will lose your 1% cash of the option, right? So if you're talking about 1 million property, your 1% is about $10,000, right? So now we will talk about the buying of change of environment and lifestyle. Okay, due to safety and security reasons, maybe this lady doesn't feel very safe to stay with her mom and her stepfather. Okay, then they relocate. Since she's capable of earning right now, her finances, and she's of legal age above 21, she will choose to buy a property outside herself and to stay in. She could buy a private property. Okay. And then, of course, how about those divorcees whereby the husband is very, very physically violent? Okay, in order to hide from the spouse, they may choose to buy a private property where there's a security guard. So in case the ex-husband choose to come and look for them, right, they will be held back by the security guard, right? Yeah, something like that. Okay, so it's usually due to safety and security, people change of environment and for lifestyle. Okay. So now we talk about buying for own stay, own independence, and adulting, which is the last one, number 7. Perhaps it's the first house for a lot of our customers who come from broken families, okay, or maybe they're orphans, they do not have parents anymore. They are capable enough and of the legal age to own their first property. And maybe they had enough staying with their auntie or uncles where they feel like a second-class citizen sometimes, sorry to say that. Okay, so they will really want to move out by themselves to gain that independence, to regain back their confidence, dignity, and pride. Because as you're aware, if you're staying under somebody else's roof, there's a lot of things you need permission for. What time do you come home? Okay, are you contributing to the utilities? And if you are you contributing enough? People may be asking you to pay more and more every month. For some of my clients, they face that. Okay, and then not to mention, sometimes it's the staying in with that existing family, you feel very uncomfortable. Okay, the food that you buy gets eaten, and then the next day you have no more breakfast for yourself. And it always happens. Or it always happens that people eat up your food and they don't wash the dishes and they leave it there for you just because they feel that you don't quite belong here. And then so for my customers from broken families, or people staying with aunties or uncles or grandparents, they would want to regain back their confidence, dignity, and pride, as well as to regain their independence. So this is the reason why they are buying, and for adulting purpose. So now, for more information, I hope that what I've shared with you just now is good enough for you. But if you would like more information, do not feel scared. Just feel free to contact me at www.centricproperty.com, or my handphone number is stated there as 9144-8667, or you can email to me at annaeng8667@gmail.com. So I look forward to helping you and serving you. And my name is Anna, signing off. Thank you. Bye-bye.